Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Monacle. Thanks for stopping by again today as we move towards wellness. If you remember, we're talking about the star of wellness and these 5 areas of your body that need to be addressed, to be balanced out so that you can achieve optimal wellness. With that, let's start with the necessity of chiropractic, because that's today's topic. You'll remember we did exercise, rest, and positive mental attitude previously. So chiropractic is extremely beneficial, because when you think about all the way back to the very beginning of life, when the egg and the sperm form one cell, that cell divides to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, and so on. The very first thing that forms once those cells start to specialize is the brain. Obviously, we need this control center for our whole body to be the first thing, and then the very next thing is the spinal cord, and then the nervous system. And then the cells start to specialize into tissues and bones, whatever it's going to be. So if it's part of the very first thing that forms, obviously it's really important. And science has proven that if you put pressure on a nerve, it will alter that nerve energy flow. Sometimes it'll speed up, sometimes it'll slow down, depending on how much pressure or how close it is to the function that it's operating. So if we have a spinal misalignment, we'll call it, one of the vertebrae is out of place, and it creates a joint that is swollen, just like if you jam your finger. Okay, that puts pressure on the nerve. So what we need to think about is moving that bone back where it belongs to let the pressure go away. With that, it's a matter of only a chiropractor is trained to find that misalignment and to fix it. We call those misalignments with nerve interference a subluxation. When we go to a chiropractor and he does all these tests to find out what is the major problem, we're not looking just at symptoms. We're looking at where is the cause of the symptom. Most of your medicines and your doctors will look at your symptoms and try to either cover them up, or if it's a malfunctioning gland, they'll try to replace whatever the gland is producing. But they never get to the problem, and the problem is the malfunction of the gland or the tissue, the joint, whatever it is that's causing you the problem. Chiropractic will look at that and address the problem instead of the symptom. So it's extremely important to understand that before we go further. And the people that are afraid to go to chiropractors because they heard of somebody's Uncle Billy Bob 20 years ago got hurt by a chiropractor, and they're afraid they're going to get hurt. Well, the chances of getting hurt are 1 in 5 million, and the chances of death are 1 in 10 million. Equate that to properly prescribed prescription drugs. That's anywhere from the 4th to the 6th leading cause of death in this country. So now people are lining up to get these drugs. And in fact, if you're getting this H1N1 vaccine, if you get a problem with that, you can't even sue the company that produced it, because that's part of their protection package for being able to put these things on the market. So it just makes no sense to me to say a chiropractor is going to hurt you when you take a risk every day by going to a doctor. In fact, 1.5 million people die from preventable medical errors every year. Somebody did the math and said that's like 6 jumbo jets falling out of the sky each and every day of the year. That's pretty amazing, but yet we don't hear about that. That's never thought about in a negative light. But just let one chiropractic adjustment, let's say break a rib, which is not uncommon, then people use that and they dwell on that fear. If you remember when we talked about positive mental attitude, it's a strange thing about the human mind that it would rather focus on something negative instead of all the positives, all the thousands and thousands and thousands of people that have been helped through chiropractic. And if you're afraid of the popping and the cracking, there are other ways out there. There are techniques available nowadays, and one that's been around for a while is one I gravitated towards was the activator. It deals with speed and specific adjustments so that there's no pain involved. It's very easy on the body, very accurate. So it produces fantastic results. So if it's a fear of the popping and the cracking, there's no excuse anymore. There are more than one technique available for you. If you want to help finding a doctor in your area, you can contact me at drbillmonaco@gmail.com. I'll be glad to help you find an activator doctor or some other form that will be very beneficial for you. So with chiropractic, another complaint is, oh, you just have to keep going. All they want to do is just, have you come. Well, do you take your car in to have the oil changed every so often? And you call that preventative maintenance? Well, that's what going about once a month to a chiropractor does for you. It keeps your body aligned. It keeps the nerve pressure off so that you can have your body working the way that it's supposed to. It just makes good sense, and most people feel so much better after they leave their chiropractor. They want to go back anyway. So when you compare the positives to the negatives, to me, once again, it just makes no sense to avoid a chiropractor. One of these days, I'm sure the insurance companies will realize how much money they could save if they would cover chiropractic completely. It's just, like I've said before, I like things that make sense. And chiropractic makes sense not only from the functionality of it, but from the wellness aspect of it. If you can't get to wellness without it, you can't go around it, you can't minimize it, you can't say, well, I don't need that, unless you have been told by a chiropractor, wow, you're amazing, you don't have one nerve interference point in your whole body. I would be amazed to see that, but it's possible. Anything is possible. With that, though, I am Dr. Bill Monaco. I sure appreciate you stopping by. If I can help you in any way, once again, I'm drbillmonaco@gmail.com. You have a great day. Bye-bye.